Shaun Meyers, the Westmoreland Sports Network, joined by another Shaun Reddick, the head coach of the Burrell Buccaneers girls basketball team, as they are beginning their quest through the Class 4A bracket. And first off, congrats. I know it's always an accomplishment to make the postseason. So your team is in. How did you evaluate how the regular season went?
It went a lot as we expected. We have North Catholic and Oakland Catholic in our section. That makes it tough nut to crack at the top. They're excellent teams with, well coached, with a storied tradition there. So we expected those games were going to be difficult. Knock is, a bigger school than us, and they play a bigger, heavier lineup. We're a lot more guard oriented. So we expected we'd have some trouble with them. We played them a couple of tight games. Kind of fell right about where we expected. We knew we'd be in that range somewhere.
So your team goes 8-6 in Class 4A Section 1, but I think maybe more significant than that was the fact that you got off to a really good start. You won your first 5 games. How important is that right out of the gate to build up some confidence for a squad?
Well, I think especially for us, we still have a relatively young lineup, and it's great to come out and get a couple of wins, have some things go your way early on. And then that allows you to build on it. The girls start to believe in what you're doing. And, it definitely adds confidence as the season goes. So we were excited about coming out strong.
Now, I know you mentioned you went against some real heavyweights in section play, and that'll make a young team grow up in a hurry, certainly. When you get to this time of season, though, it does typically feel like coaches rely on the veteran players that they know they can trust to be out there. Who are some of those players that you're going to have to lean upon if you have postseason success?
Well, for us, I think if you talk to any other coach in the section, they know, Burrell goes as Jules Fisher goes. She's our senior on the floor. She helps break the press. She brings the ball up. She's a post player. We try to get the ball into her. Everything kind of runs through her. We have junior Casey Brancato, who's also got, 3 years of starting experience. So those two kind of trigger a lot of what we do. But even so, we put a lot of pressure on our young kids. My point guard's a sophomore, and we don't give her a lot of help to break those presses. She's got to get through them. And, she does a great job for us. So, while we lean heavily on Jules, the girls all kind of, split the load evenly, which, we try to do.
How big of a goal was it to make the playoffs this year? And what was that feeling like when your girls knew that they had achieved it?
So we took over, my coaching staff took over about 4 years ago. And that first year, we took our lumps. And, from that point on, we said, the bare minimum goal of the next few seasons was to get in the playoffs. And, this is our 3rd year in a row being in. And, we jumped up from 3A to 4A. So we knew, it was going to be a bigger challenge. But, that's been the bare minimum goal. We're now trying to, expand on that. You start with a foundation and then you build on it. So we expected to be in the playoffs, and the girls did, and the coaching staff did. And, we're excited to achieve that goal. But now we have loftier goals.
You mentioned you took over a few seasons ago, but this is your second stint as a head coach, and you've been around as an assistant coach as well. So many different tenures guiding Burrell. What have you learned from when you started up until now as a coach?
So, in addition to coaching varsity, I also used to help, middle school boys, middle school girls. The way things have evolved in the game, the way things have evolved with kids, over that time, you certainly coach differently. But with kids, if they trust you, if they believe in you, they're going to give you 100% all the time. And, if you ever watch us play, that's what you'll see. My kids don't quit. We go out on the floor and they will leave it all out there. At the end of the game, we're exhausted. And, the last game, as we're doing our post-game speech, our trainer was in there, patting everybody down, getting the blood off them, because we just work hard, and that's what they're willing to do.
So you get the number 11 seed in this Class 4A bracket. That means you head on the road to play number 6 South Park. How did the seeding align with what your expectations were, and in particular from your section, Oakland Catholic and North Catholic getting the 2 and 3 seeds respectively as well?
Yeah, we had, obviously we wanted to finish higher. That was our goal. But we knew our section was tough. When we finished in fourth like we did, we expected to be somewhere around this seed, 10 or 11. We expected to play either South Park, Laurel Highlands, Beaver, someone like that. So drawing South Park wasn't a surprise. We know they're a very good team. They do some things very similar to us. So, hopefully that experience of seeing that every day in practice will help us when we get out on the floor with them.
So when you go against a team in the Eagles that do have some similarities to what your team possesses, what will be key to ultimately pull off the upset and move on?
I think for us, we're gonna have to shoot the ball well. We're gonna have to take care of the ball, and we're gonna have to disrupt them. What they're trying to do on offense. They do a good job of getting into their offensive scheme and running it, regardless of what the opponent's doing. And we're gonna have to try to, cause some confusion for them. We thrive on that in the game. If we can create confusion, our girls feel comfortable playing that style, and hopefully they don't.
Well, Shaun, thanks for doing this. We appreciate your time. Congrats on making the postseason. Hopefully you can make a run as well in the playoffs.
Thanks. Appreciate your time.